Hello, hello. Hello, Sky Limit. Hi, hi. We'll get started in like a minute or so. Like a minute. Just gonna take a sip of my water. Hello, hello, Matthew. Hello. I think we'll get started in a little bit. Or actually right now. We can start right now. You just make sure I go to the right screen. Yeah. The hotkeys work. Nice. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'm Babinko Bear, artist, historian, art historian, and Sunbear PNGTuber. And today, it's the start of a new week. We're schmovin'. We're schmovin'. We're oh wait, music. We're doing some art appreciation today. I was thinking about what music to play. I always play vaporwave, right? It's just the thing to do, but I feel like I should play some I don't know, something else this time. We're schmovin'. Exactly, we're schmovin'. So maybe I was thinking about this like Filipino pop band that I found out about like recently. They've been active for a little bit longer, but they're called Bini. They kind of have like the K-pop, sound to them, but it's Filipino. So it's P-pop. I think that's the term, right? It's P-pop. But yeah, let's listen to Bini today. I don't think their music is royalty free like the vaporwave tunes I'm usually listening to. So I might have to edit it out of the VOD, or I might have to snatch the VOD up from Twitch. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's start it. Oh no, that's ginger root. Wait, there you go. See how the volume is. There we go. Since art appreciation isn't guaranteed, is there a way to know who's being looked at today? Yeah, so if you go to the Discord in the art appreciation channel, I did put up a list, like a queue, just so people know whether or not their recommendations get picked or not. And yours did, by the way. So, because it was a carryover from last time, right? Yeah, hi beeplebees. Get your stickers, everyone. Get your stickers. Yeah, I wanna wait a little bit before we get started. Sky Lemon, yeah, you got the champurrado sticker. I love it. I love champurrado. I was craving tacos earlier because, oh, did you guys catch Cielo Slug's debut? If not, it's okay. But I'm gonna shout them out. Cielo Slug. They're a member of the community. They're a Bibinkub. They're also known as Space Chaser, by the way. They're the same person. Just like how I'm Pau Pandan and Bibinko Bear. Cielo Slug is also Space Chaser, a Randonite / Vestie. So, yeah, they just debuted today, a couple hours ago. It was really nice. It was really cute. They have a sea angel. I think it's, yeah, like a sea angel design. and I missed some of their debut because I got a work call at the last minute, and I'm like, no. But I was able to catch some of it, and what they did is first they did their debut, Chase Spacer. They did their you know, the usual things to expect from a debut. So like, you know, you introduce yourself, your likes and dislikes, all that stuff. And then, ooh, Weidheit, nice. You got your Turon sticker. Nice. Thank you for telling me. I keep forgetting who people are. Yeah, it's understandable. You guys have those shower thoughts, like when you're when you're like showering and or cooking or like putting something in the microwave, where you're like you just have those random thoughts. For me, it was the fact that like the Randonite community has become kind of like, it's both big and small. Like it's like become tight knit that like you know some of the names if you like hang around long enough and then you look at the chat long enough. But it's also pretty big. Like when you look at his Twitch and YouTube play D&D streams, the responses are like in the hundreds, right? But yeah, there's like a couple folks, especially like the folks that are like, you know, dipping their toes into streaming, you know. That helps me also to like remember folks a little bit better, because then I can associate them with their voice, if that makes sense. So yeah, so Cielo, they debuted, and then afterwards they did a really cute idea, which was they rated or ranked all the snail emojis according to like different, I guess, like platforms. Hi Zako, hello. But yeah. So I was just talking about Cielo Slug. They debuted today. They were rating the different like snail emojis, and I didn't realize there's just so many different emojis of really anything. And it was really nice. Matthew, did I remember to send you Max's art station? Let me see. Cause I think, oh yeah, I was just going off of their Twitter. But if you did send it to me, I can. Hold on, give me a second. Oh yeah, you did. Thank you for the reminder. I'll put that here. Yeah, if you guys want to know, if you guys are in my Discord server, if you go to Art Appreciation, the last thing that I posted in there was the queue for today. So not everything that people recommended got picked, but that's kind of part of the new rules with Art Appreciation. I did want to like just put a couple more rules because I do want to preserve my voice. As you guys noticed from like the tarot stream, my voice kept on like going out, so I do need to put in some boundaries just for now, just to make sure that like for one, I give enough time and energy to every person that submits artwork to review, right? But also so that I don't blow my voice out. So I am reviewing just, I think, 6 artists today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 6 artists today. I never got my offline tarot reading. Zako, I was very tired at the end of that stream. So I will try afterwards, but just know that like if I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I remember at the end of this stream, I will. That's my scope dog. That's the joke. But yeah. But yeah, so we're reviewing 6 artists today. One of them is, so I always try to start off each art appreciation stream with like one that's kind of like my own recommendation, and it's a contemporary artist who I think passed away, but we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, not every person that recommends art will be picked, but I'll either review it through that channel, like through text, or I am trying to start this new like you can be an art historian stream series where I teach you guys how to like analyze art, right? And I'm trying to like do it according to themes. Like for example, I think Mowo recommended Yoshitaka Amano. If you don't know who they are, they do like a lot of the art for the Final Fantasy series. Like, did he do art for all of them? I actually don't know, but he has a very distinctive style. But I'm not gonna review him today because I feel like he'd be really cool to review during one of those streams, like where we observe, say, like line or color. So yeah. This song is so cute. So I haven't listened to this band before, Binny. But I just know that they have like the K-pop sound, but like Filipino. But it's super cute. It's super cute. I think Bini means pretty, right? I don't know. I'm gonna need someone to correct me, but yeah. Other than that, though, before we get started, how are y'all doing? How's your day been? Like I said, all I did today was watch Cielo's debut. I did a little bit of work, and I rested for most of the day, actually, because I'm still getting over my sickness. I think I'm pretty much good. I think I'm pretty much healed now, like, but yesterday and a little bit of today, I had, like, the most gnarly migraine. And the thing is, I'm very used to migraines. Do you guys get migraines too? I used to get them once a month, and it like kinda aligned with my period. So I always thought it was a hormonal thing, but I think it might actually be a sinus thing. Doing good. I went out with family. Oh, nice. That's always nice to do. You know, like hang out with the family, with the fam bam. But yeah, I had a pretty gnarly migraine yesterday and today. Because yesterday I really wanted to play Final Fantasy all day, but I was stuck to the bed. I was I was home stuck, if you will. I get daily migraines every night. No! Oh no! Dang, that sucks. Have you I mean, you don't have to say it if you don't want to, but like, have you found any kind of like cause or what triggers it? Because for me, like I said, it's usually once a month. Stuck mentioned. No, I was stuck to the bed until I found out that Randon was gonna play Final Fantasy XIV with Professor Lando. I hopped out of bed despite the migraine and played for a little bit. And then I immediately went back to bed. And then today I watched Cielo's debut and then went back to bed because of the migraine. But I think it's a sinus thing. I don't know. Like, I think the migraines are a sinus thing because, like, I don't know, I felt the snot. I felt the the phlegm in my face, in my facial regions. It hurt. So, but yeah, also the once a month migraines have kind of stopped. And it was after I did like a certain dental procedure. So I feel like maybe, I don't know, my whole body's a weapon, you see. Just kidding. That's from Spy Fox. It's one of those quotes that me and Beans like to quote at each other. There's like a scene where it's like this well, I played Spy Fox on this channel before, but I don't remember how many people saw it, but there's a scene where it's like just this super fat cow. And he's like recounting a story on how he got kidnapped, and he was like, according to his recounting, he was like, "Oh, I fought off those ninjas." And then he says, "My whole body's a weapon, you see." Yeah, random playing FF11. Yeah. I also managed to find my FF14 account. I didn't get through the first expansion. I'm only level 45. So here's the thing. I got to the first expansion, but I restarted. I'm in a fresh account. Hi, Nomi. Yeah, you're free to lurk. No worries. I'm glad to have you here. But yeah, I started off fresh, and there are some things I miss about my old account now, which I deleted. I wanted it to be permanent. I took it out. There was just some, like, I guess, to be frank, some bad memories associated with it. But I miss, like, certain things. Like, I had a polar bear mount. Like, I had beaten, like, the first... I beat, like, the base game. I was, like, into Heaven's Word. I think I finished Heaven's Word, actually. I just didn't do, like, the last missions at the very end, like, after you finish the story. But I miss my polar bear mount. Because I'm pretty sure I bought it. So if I want it again, I'm gonna have to buy it again. But it's okay. It's okay. We start fresh. We start fresh as Babinko Bear. And that's fine. A bear of the polar variety? Exactly. Yeah, you feeling better, Nomi? I remember you said you got your pain pills. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, because, you know, it's medical stuff. I know it could be confidential. But yeah. I hope you've been doing good. But yeah, so I actually played a little bit of Final Fantasy right before we started. Just a smidge, you know, just a smidge of Final Fantasy. The addiction is real. Super chats for bear, it's for the stream, right? It is. No, you don't have to super chat. But yeah, so that was my day. Hope you guys also had a good day. And now we're streaming. Now we're streaming. We're only gonna, like I said, we're only reviewing 6 artists today. And then I know we raided into Akashi last time. But I might want to raid into him again because I think he's gonna be reading the Berenstain Bears today. Which, like, come on now. I gotta raid if we're talking about bears. Even though wait, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but even though, so I heard that the author, did you guys hear about this with the Berenstain Bears? So the original authors, I think it was like a husband and wife team. I could be spreading misinformation, you let me know, but yeah, their stories are supposed to be like, you know, for kids, teach them like life lessons, that kind of stuff. But I think either they passed away or they gave a little bit more writing power, I guess, to their son, who is like a fundamentalist Christian. All I know about the Berenstain Bears is the Mandela effect. Yeah, like it's Berenstain, right? Like with an A. You could always take up the warrior axe and get yourself a brown bear. Is that how you can get the brown bear mount? Should I be a warrior? That means I have to tank though, and well, I guess since ARR, since the first base game, now they have the NPC dungeons. Maybe I can, maybe. Like I said, I never used to tank in Final Fantasy because anxiety, but now it's just NPCs, and you know, and I read guides ahead of time, so yeah. I'm from the Berenstain Bear universe. I think I am too. Tank time, ikuzo! I'm scared. But with the NPC, it's funny because with the NPC dungeons, you kind of tank anyway. Like, I mean, not really, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you play the NPC dungeons, like no one moves until you move, and I always play DPS. So like I'm always like charging in first, and then the tank just teleports to wherever I'm at to like get the aggro. Anyway, I feel like there might be some folks in here that like this is gibberish what I'm saying, so we will get to the art appreciation soon. But yeah, that was my whole thing. Like I didn't heal and I didn't tank because I was too anxious that I would fail the team and people would yell at me, and no one ever did, to be fair, but but for me, like DPS was like the easy and like safe thing to do. Speaking of Berenstain Bears, I refuse to believe in the Mandela effect. People just don't keep up with the media. There are some things that like I do agree that maybe like maybe it is just kind of like our memory playing tricks on us. But there are certain things like, you know, the shack. What's the most famous example of the Mandela effect is like, was it Shaq was was a genie in a movie called Shazam or Kazam? But it was actually like people are mixing up 2 different movies together. I forgot what it was. I forgot. But yeah, so apparently, oh yeah, to finish my thought with the Berenstain Bears. Apparently, so the son took over and he's very fundamentalist Christian. Therefore, like the Berenstain Bear books that have been coming out have been a little bit more like, one, patriotic, and then I don't know if they've become religious too, but that's just what I've been hearing through the grapevine. Hi Momo, hello. Thanks for coming by. I'm always a healer because I suck at attacking and I don't want to disappoint the team. Ah, see, then like, I guess people's like, well, not to say that you have anxiety, but like, I guess people's minds work different, because for me it's like, oh, if I don't heal in time, then everyone's gonna hate me. Whereas like DPS, everyone's doing damage, so it's like, I don't know, do people like, especially at the higher levels, do they start to nitpick? Are they like, well, I know that the DPS was fucking up because we didn't have as much damage output as we should have. It's people think Sinbad was in a movie about a genie, but they're confusing it to the movie where Shaq was a genie. You're right. I remember Sinbad. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. I don't know why when you said Sinbad, I immediately thought of America's Funniest Home Videos, hosted by Bob Saget. Oh yeah. Thanks for getting the day. Hello, George. I was lurking in your stream earlier. I was looking at your how you animate. It was really cool. I saw you animating flames. What was it? Kazam, this is common knowledge. I saw that. Well, yeah, like I only ever saw the animated movie Sinbad. Like I said, I thought of America's Funniest Home Videos for some reason, even though they're not like super related. I said some things about HoloLive that I'm not proud of. I might have missed that part. The person that you were streaming with, they did mention something about HoloLive, but I kind of missed it. Oh, it was like... Wasn't it something like... Oh, I'm like streaming with like a male VTuber, therefore I can't be in HoloLive. Oh no, not the controversial... The controversial calling out. It's okay, it's okay. Liking something doesn't mean that you can't also critique it, right? So I like HoloLive, I like HoloStars. I'm not very vocal about my critiques, but I do have them. Male VTubers. That emote gets so much mileage and I love it. That's just the fist. Male VTubers. Well, I could never join HoloLive because I am going to be collabing with my partner, Beans, and with Mega Bronson. She's her buddy. On Saturday. It's on Saturday. I said something degenerate. I'm glad she missed it. I think I might have. I was lurking in a lot of chats today. I was in Owen Aeon, who I think is still streaming right now. I watched a little bit of Lando. And then, yeah, I was in George's for a little bit. I was also in... Oh my god, what was his name? I just added him too. It's the Almanitas? Is that his name? He has like an older gentleman type of model. Oh no, I feel bad. I like because his name starts with an A, but it also has a lot of syllables. I'm like trying to find it now. Almantas. I'll give them a shout out. Almantas. Oh, I lost it again. Almantas VT. There we go. He has like, you guys should check out at least his model is like, he's an older gentleman with like a very comfy, it's like imagine Shinri if he like aged, like if he had like a white hair, white beard, a very, very you know, like older gentleman type body. But he was also, I think he's like a former professor and he's like a fellow educational streamer. Yeah, a lot to catch up on people's streams, so I have little time. No, same here. Like, the reason why I was just like lurking is because I was getting ready for my own stream, and like I said, I had my migraine, so I was just chilling on bed. Remember that guy? Should check him out. Yeah, he was talking about how to get jobs. He was giving like cool tips on like how to dress up for an interview, how to prepare your resume. All really good stuff. I'm already like pretty deep into my my part of the job sphere, right? But I agreed with everything he said as someone who has hired other people. It's pretty solid advice. So yeah, check him out. Check him out. Yeah, I think I've yapped for long enough. Well, let's get started, shall we? Let's get started. Let me see. Does the hotkey work? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Wham! Nice. Let's start our art appreciation. So let's show you guys who we're gonna be going over, because you guys did recommend a good amount of folks for art appreciation. I'm only gonna be looking at 6 artists that I already chose before the stream started. So I just saw, George, that you recommended something. If I still have energy at the end, I'll review it, but I did put in kind of new rules to make sure that I don't preserve my voice. So we're gonna start off with these 6, okay? So Alex Colville, this is the one that no one recommended, but I want to recommend to you all. And then after that, we're gonna look at Max Fitzgerald. This was recommended by Matthew. Oh, cool! Look at this art. This is awesome. And then Kyle. This was This is a pixel artist recommended by Hux. Pretty cool stuff. And then we have Jaffers. I believe this was recommended by Cielo Slug. Who, like, their name is so familiar. I feel like, did they work on any of the Hollow Stars English fan projects at all? They sound so familiar, but I wasn't like following them either here or on my Pal Pandan account, so I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know why they just sound so familiar. And then afterwards, we're gonna look at art from, what is this? Muse Dash, recommended by Donchi. And then I'm just gonna be looking at two of their artworks. And then we're gonna be looking at beeplebees art. I think he posted this before, but this is the first time I'll be looking at it on stream. It's very beautiful. I follow that pixel artist, the dancing cat emote. Milky! Thank you for the raid! Hello, hello! Oh no, the bombs! Milky! Hello, I missed you! Hello, hello! Welcome, raiders! Arsenic, yeah, get your stickers. Get your sniffer stickers. Hello, hello! Get your scratch and sniffer sticker. Yeah, you got the Let Your Flan sticker. Nice Shiopie. Hello, hello. 1000, hello. Hello, hello. Weatherman, hello. Hi, everyone. You're just in time. We were just about to start with the art appreciation. Yeah, yeah. No, the Babinkas, they're dying. It's okay. They're good. They bounce back as per lore, right? Oh yeah, if you guys want some Babinkub lore, please go to Creative Babinkubs on the what's it called? The Discord. I pinned beeplebees post because they gave us some lore about the Babattermon and the Babinkubmon. Do you guys know that you're technically Digimon? That's another thing. Bye, Babinka going to the doctor for a rabies shot. Oh no! I remember you talked about that before. Yeah, good luck with the doctors. Hope the shot isn't too painful, but also hoping it prevents the big R. But yeah, good luck. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. But yeah. So we are just about to start with our art appreciation. So yeah, to go over again, we're gonna go over this artist that I really like, Alex Colville. Okay, this is an interesting about this artist is that his paintings look like PS1 video games, but these paintings are all from the 50s to the 70s. So we're gonna look at his art first. Max Fitzgerald, Kyle, a pixel artist, Jaffers, art from Muse Dash, and then art by beeplebees. And then if we have time and if I have energy, maybe what Jurge also submitted in we got a last minute submission, but we'll see. I just want to make sure that my voice doesn't go out. You heard of that guy? Yeah. It's interesting. So there's one painting here that is kind of missing. Give me a second. Let me find it. Alex Colville. It's this one. It's a dog on a bridge, and I swear it looks polygonal. Like it looks like there's it's like a low poly art. Is this one? Come on, I just need the picture. Open a new tab. This one. Okay, look at this picture, guys. Look at this graph. Owen! I got the double raid today. Hello, Owen! I was also lurking in your chat earlier. Hello, thank you for the raid. Oh, I forgot to give a shout out to both of our raiders. So, we got shout out to Four Milks. And then a shout out to Owen. Yeah, you were doing the horse. You were doing some breeding. I was watching the breeding. Hello. So, hello raiders. Thank you, Owen, for raiding into me. If you got a raid and run, no worries. Thank you for trusting me with your folks. We were just about to start. We actually just got started with our art appreciation. We're looking at an artist who is from the 50s and like 50s, 60s, and 70s, but his works look like PS1 like graphics. So Yeah. Thank you again for the raids. Yeah, I was, you were watching the breeding. Yeah, Owen was playing a horse racing game with breeding. I was, lurking while I was setting up my own stream. But yeah, check out Owen's stuff. I know I mentioned this in my last stream, but if you are interested in learning more about, like, F1 stuff, Owen is your guy. He's super knowledgeable, and the way that he explains things is like, man, I want to learn more about this. Now I just recalled this artist. Yeah, so this guy's name is Alex Colville. Alex Colville. He's Canadian. I'm flattered. Yeah, of course. Always appreciate the way you talk about stuff where we're all passionate in, right? Yeah. This is Alex Colville. I don't know much about him other than the fact that he's Canadian, and then it says here, unfortunately, he died peacefully at home on July 16, 2013. So over 10 years ago, he's passed away. His biography is here. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I was actually just about to link it too. Yeah. So I don't follow Omina orbiters. What the? Aren't you guys friends? Or is that the joke? But yeah, so this is Alex Colville's stuff. If you want to learn more about him, his biography is here. But I was just fascinated with the fact that like look at this. Look, doesn't this look? Yeah, you guys are friends if you're doing the Omina. The Omina haha. The hee hee haha. Hello Mushi, welcome. We're appreciating the art of Alex Colville. So this was made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I think this is specifically from the 50s. But look, doesn't it look like something out of like a PS1 game? Right? I was trying to like narrow down why it is that it looks like that. Because even look at the fur. That straight up looks like, you know, the way that they did like low poly graphics. I thought you were looking at a Fallout screenshot, right? Doesn't that look like dog meat? Yeah, it kind of reminds me of modern photo bashing. Photo editing like Photoshop, but it's a legit painting. Yeah, exactly! And I was trying to like figure out why that is, and I actually like went to, well, Google, which led me to the depths of Reddit. And the consensus is that it's because of the light. Like, look at the dog. If you were looking at like a photograph of a dog crossing a bridge, wouldn't he cast a shadow? Or if, let's say that this bridge over here is casting a shadow, then like where is it? Exactly 1000, exactly Mowo. There's no shading, there's no shadow. So that's why like and people on Reddit would say stuff like, well yeah, because like in old video games, stuff like realistic lighting, that cost a pretty penny, or that was a lot of labor essentially. I think the lack of drop shadows really influences. Yeah, I'm getting Silent Hill vibes. Have you seen that's the like, I don't know if it's viral, but the meme screenshot of like I guess the guy from Silent Hill 1, he's like checking out a doghouse and it's like, there doesn't seem to be anything here, but it's like the exact moment where one of the zombie dogs is like about to attack him. That's essentially this. It's dog meat. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting though, right? So that the lack of shadows gives it kind of like a little bit of a lack of depth as well. I can never say that word right. Depth? Is it like depth? Yeah, so there's that. There's the fact that it looks very polygonal. Oh, we got an ad break starting soon, but that's okay. Looks like a doghouse, but there's no dogs around. Gets eaten by a dog. Exactly. You know, Beans is the Silent Hill guy. He really likes the Silent Hill series. I've never played one because I'm a coward, but I know the gist of it. So another thing that I want to point your guys' attention to is, let's zoom in a little bit. He dabbles in the pointillism. If you guys don't know what pointillism is, it's kind of like exactly what it sounds like. It's like painting or drawing in a way that you do it like with dots, like bit by bit. Like instead of, if I were to paint this in like CSP, you would just like do one big stroke like this. But look really closely at the shadows and like at the wood. You see like it looks a little grainy, right? Even at the fur here. So I think he did a little bit of pointillism. Like he like did it, like he just took his brush and just pop like that, right? Which would be super time consuming, right? But it makes this really cool effect. Remember the last our places they hit Among Us and all the details. The pointillism is also very reminiscent of Pixels. Exactly. So that pointillism, like now it just looks like I said, when you like get the low poly graphics and you put what they used to do essentially. I'm not super intimate with the process, but you have like a low poly model and they would put skin on it essentially, and it would be like a JPEG, or if they use like bitmap back then. I don't know if you guys have you guys ever played like the old school Sims, like not Sims 4 but like Sims 1, 2, 3, and back then you could download like custom skins for your Sims, so you could get, I don't know, like trying to think of which ones I downloaded back in the day. It would be like who was famous back then? I don't know. I want to say like Hetalia. I downloaded Sims 1 on release. I downloaded a lot of custom furniture on dial-up. Oh my gosh, not the dial-up. That would have taken days. Bearskin. Get pointillism, get pointillism, get pointillism. Exactly. Yeah, you could download skins of like different characters, and then it would be like, oh well, now I have a sim of, I don't know, Italy from Hetalia. Or a skin of Iron Man. Of Robert Downey Jr. So that's kind of what this looks like. It just looks like a low poly model, and they just put a bitmap / JPEG skin on it, and the pointillism looks like the pixels, right? Because it's kind of like low definition as well. So put all that together and you get these paintings that they are paintings, but they look like PS1 games. I think there's another one that really like has that effect. See if we can, oh no. Open? No. It's not letting me open the image. Oh, there we go. Oh, it looks like even the paintings on his side are a little, it's not like the highest definition, but look, it's also, someone else pointed out that there's shading within the figure itself, but not in relation to like, look at her arm. It's on this ledge, but it's not casting a shadow. It like kinda is, but not really, right? But her arm has shading. You could tell that the light source is like up here, right? Or coming from like all around her, behind her. But she's not casting a shadow here. I don't think this guy's really casting a shadow on the thing that he's leaning on either. So you put that all together and you get this really cool effect. Which I think for his time, he was just trying to like find his own style. Or not find, I think he found his own style. But like, he's trying to pioneer his own style. Which I think worked. But to us in the future, it's like, whoa, this looks like PS1 graphics. There's also something about his paintings that remind me of like children's storybooks. There's a specific guy that I like that I'll show you guys more of in the future. Interesting aesthetic for a pre-photo bash era. Yeah. It reminds me of to get a little historical and a little controversial. Wasn't it like Stalin from like the during the communist Russia times? He would make like if he didn't like a person and he had a photo with them, he would make sure that oh, we got an ad break in a minute. That's fine. He would erase people from his photographs. But this is of course before Photoshop, so it's like, how did he do that, right? And it really is like a whole process of like quite literally cutting and pasting photographs. It's all your character. I don't remember because I do know that there's like horse. I don't remember if he's in it because I think they do mention it like real life figures, but I don't think they actually like depict them or show them unless they're fairly uncontroversial, right? So yeah, so we're gonna have an ad break in a little bit, so I'll let you guys appreciate this little horsey. It's also gonna give me an opportunity to take a break, but also look at that other storybook artist once. And if you're subscribed and you don't get the ad break, enjoy the music. We're listening to some P-pop, some Filipino pop. Alright, I'm gonna take a sippy break. Oh no, wait, the ad hasn't even started. I'm silly. Okay. Let me find the name of that artist then. Actually, who's the guy that did Where All the Wild Things Are? Where All the Wild Things Are. Artist. Maurice Sendak. Maurice. It's a bit of a reach, but like... Horse appreciator, no. I don't think we've ever... Oh, there's the ad. There's the ad. I'm gonna take a break right now. I was just gonna say, I don't think we've ever interacted before, but they seem like a pretty stand-up person. Okay, I'll take that break. Appreciate the art. Okay, I'm gonna show you one more similar artist and then we're gonna move on to the next art that we'll be appreciating. But there's this book that I've mentioned 1 or 2 times. It's called The Mysteries of Harris Burdick and it's illustrated by... Sorry if you hear like sounds outside by the neighbors. It's by this artist named Chris Van Allsburg who does like children's stories. But I like this book a lot. I had it as a kid and I bought it again as an adult. But it's just full of these really cool images. That basically they only have like a 1-sentence caption and that's it. There's like nothing really explaining these images, but they're all yeah, it's pretty interesting because you really just get like 1 sentence from these. I think this is a good one. It was something like it started with like a bump in the rug and that's it. That's all you get from this. And I remember when I was a kid, our English teacher would use it as a way to do prompts. Like she would have us read a book and focus on one picture and she'd be like, well, what do you think is happening in the story? Like, what story can you make out of it? You know, and there was no limit because, you know, the teacher couldn't just be like, well, that's wrong because that's not what the story's about. Like, she kind of let us just go off, you know? And some of these were, this is the one that I remember. There's one that I remember the most. It's this one, and then there's this one. I don't know if it's gonna load. There we go. This one is like etched in my head. Because I think I wrote my little story about this picture. Because I wrote a story about how like, oh, this was like a magical wallpaper made out of birds. And like, but after like a couple of years, the birds would decide to like fly away and that's what was happening. But, you know, like, I think this one, the little, like, line for this was, like, it started when someone... Oh, here! It all began when someone left the window open. Like, that's all you're given, and then you make a little story out of it. That's an interesting way to let your imagination go wild. The yellow paper? There's yellow paper. But yeah, but it's also, like, this isn't a photo. It's obviously, like, a piece of artwork, so... or it's like, I think this guy, is it graphite? I actually don't know if it's like graphite or paint, but that's also kind of what this art reminds me of. It just has this like, ooh, who got their sticker? May Shark, hello. But yeah, I don't know, it has that kind of like quality to it as well. I just realized this horse isn't chasing after the train. It's gonna collide with the train, right? Is that not what's happening? Unless, like, the back of the train also has... No, look at the smoke! No! The horse is gonna collide with the train! You know what's so weird? I thought this was like a little, you know when you like are scrolling up and down, you have like the bar here on the right side? I don't know why I thought this was a scroll bar. Now I'm like, wait, like that's another way that it looks like a PS1 graphic. Like this is your HP and this is you playing Red Dead Redemption, but like old. And it's running right at the train. No. The giant horse. Actually, yeah. If you oh my god, wait, yeah, if you think about it, that's actually a gigantic horse. We gotta summon Horse Appreciator. But yeah, I do want to move on to the next artist though. So, once again, this is the art of Alex Colville. If you guys want to know, horse, get out of there! If you guys want to appreciate his art for yourself, I think Matthew put the link in the chat and he pinned it, so yeah. His stuff is really cool. Do check it out. Look at that, no shadows, but it still looks really cool. Okay, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Alright, so let's move on, shall we? So now we have Matthew's recommendation. Horse, let me show you what real horsepower looks like. No, horsey. Are you strong enough to do it? Are you strong enough? But yeah, so this is our next person. Actually, you know what? I should do the same thing that I do with tarot readings, where I take a little bit of a breaky in between each artist, just in case you guys want to get some last like comments in, right? So I'll take. I just took a break though, so how about this? I'll let you guys just observe for like 30 seconds, and then we'll take a closer look at one or two artworks before we move on. We got Blade. You can enjoy the music too. Don't forget to hydrate and stretch. Yeah. Okay, let me do that right now. Okay, so I didn't pre-pick a piece of artwork to look into, so which one caught my eye first? I want to say this one, and to be honest, the Blade one, but just because it was like more familiarity of like, oh, it's Blade. But I don't know, let's pick the bell actually. This one also, the Screaming Bell. So we picked the Screaming Bell and Skaven Vermintide. Ooh, Vermintide. Isn't that like a spell or something in D&D, or like has to do with like lots of rats? D20, roll D20 to pick. Warhammer Fantasy. Wait a minute, Vermintide and a spell with rats. Wait a minute, we could use it for Twitch Plays D&D. So, full disclosure, I don't know much about Warhammer. I mentioned this before, and I know that Matthew, you posted a video in, I really have to, actually watch the videos in the Teach Me section of the Discord. Because I know you posted a video there that explained everything about, like, 40k, right? Was that something that you put in there? Rats are mentioned! Exactly, we are the rats! We are the rats! Yeah, let's get to... Alright, you know what? Let's start with this one. Can I zoom in? Is this to download? There you go. Ooh. Okay, right away. You guys know how much I love painterly style. Like when you see the brush strokes. Rat Jam! Skaven's Ratipool gonna be insane! It's true. There's a Warhammer 40k sci-fi and then Warhammer Fantasy. Ah, okay. I always thought it was all just 40k, so Warhammer Fantasy. So is that more like D&D? Not D&D, but you know how D&D is like kind of more rooted in like fantasy tropes? You know, stuff like that. And then Warhammer 40k is a bit more of like the sci-fi approach. Well, you said sci-fi too, so... I should actually review that video that you posted, Matthew. We pray at night, we stuck at night, we are the rats. It's something like, ooh, dark fantasy. I like those two combinations of words very much. Let's analyze. Let's analyze. So here we have. Oh my God, is he the Rat King? Cause look, just like composition wise. Yeah, actually, let's start off that. Let's zoom out and just look at the composition. Like this striking triangle shape, right? Because usually when people just have like a giant expansive white here, people will call it unfinished, right? But this guy makes it work. Or I'm kind of assuming that their pronouns are he, him, but I'll just go with the neutral ones. But they make it work because it's not just pure white, it also has a little bit of texture there, which kind of adds to kind of the grungy texture down here too. I remember it was like end times, like the world almost of ruins of some sort. Ah, okay. Nice, interesting. That's kind of the vibe I get with a lot of 40, like, I should stop saying 40k, like, with just a lot of Warhammer art, is that, like, it's all very grungy, like, in an intentional way, right? In a good way. Well, not good, but intentional way. So, right away, composition's very strong, it kind of leads the eye downwards, and then you kind of see, like, the way that everything is facing, it's over here towards the right. Oh, yeah, so thank you for shouting them out, too. And here is also the art station. Go back if you guys want to appreciate this artwork. There we go. That's also the art station, and I think the Twitter is also Turnip Max. So I do believe that the account that Matthew linked should be the account, right? I'm trusting you here. A term that gets used a lot with Warhammer and Warhammer art is grimdark, grungy dystopia. Ah, I've definitely heard grimdark before. Artist is Max Fitzgerald. Yeah. His art's really good. Sorry, I was just looking at a text that I got, and I was like, huh? Gonna check them out, BRB? Yeah, no problem. Take your time. So first of all, composition, it's leading our eye over to the right side. And then we, my eyes like did start here, but this guy is also kind of like very much highlighted because of the green in the background. It's almost like he's framed by it. And he's red. If you look, for the most part, the color scheme here is red and green, which, we talked about this before, they're complementary colors. They're on opposite ends of the color wheel. So they make each other, glow, I guess, or they emphasize each other. So when you put green and red in a composition, they help highlight each other. And here, this is where you arguably see the most green in kind of a lump. So in the center of that lump, of course, is this figure, who, my first, knowing nothing about Warhammer, knowing nothing about what's going on here, it seems like he's kind of the guy in control, because he's like human-like, and he has like his hand kind of raised and with like some kind of orb. He's holding the orb, everyone. Guys, he's holding the orb. You just need to draw a little bit of red and it's Orby. Orby was the Rat King all along. But I think that this guy is like some kind of rat magician, right? Because not only is he summoning all these rats, he has like a tail. He has a rat tail. So I'm seeing him as some kind of like rat mage, right? He even has like what looks like it could be a wizard's hat, but it also kind of vaguely reminds me of, if you guys are familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Magician. Orby is Germa. I summon Dark Magician, and then I play Pot of Greed, which lets me draw 2 additional cards. But his headpiece kind of reminds me of that. So he's like a mage figure, right? I come back to the Orby mention. Horns? Are they horns? Are they supposed to be horns? There you go. George. Orb. He is Orb. George summons Exodia. So yeah, he looks like some kind of rat mage, and he's even holding up this huge staff, right? You know what's even more interesting? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Is the use of different lines to really make his figures. Because look really closely at the orb, like this energy over here. There's very small lines, very small in comparison to every other stroke that you see on here. But that's what kind of like, if you zoom out, you don't notice all the, well actually you do. I think due to the color you do notice the lines. And they played with color enough, like they made it this vibrant green color that you could see it even though you're zoomed out a lot. But it helps to really nail in the fact that he's holding some kind of like energy orb. The Skaven worship the great horned rat. Ah, so is this him, or is he kind of like a shaman that's trying to emulate? If you want to see some art of Hux, huh? What do you mean? Why would you say that? Unless Hux himself was like, yeah, that me. Like, how do I know you're not insulting? It's cute though. It's cute. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's moving. But also, this is also a really good example of he's a little guy in bunny pajamas. Aww. He is just a little guy though. But Hux with a gun? What is this? American Hux? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But a lot of those art shows what I was talking about the painterly style, right? Because to me, what I love about painterly style is that it looks so effortless, even though it's not. Like, you definitely need a Hux slander? Never. Oh no, I'm not slandering Hux. I'm slandering the state of America, Bear America. But yeah. So, it looks so effortless. Like, it almost looks like they put random strokes in, right? But the thing is, you could tell that, especially with their composition and their use of color, he's not just doing whatever. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing with these strokes. And then you can I think there's another thing I like is how some of them, like I said, you could see that they're just paints, not just, but they're Hux can't even take a break from slander. No Hux slander here. No, he's gonna watch the VOD and be like, what the fuck? So look at the different, I guess, like quality of brush strokes. Because here in the background where it doesn't need to be super detailed, it's fine. USA Hux. It doesn't need to be super detailed, right? But then let's scroll down to the rats. The rats, oh my god, I think it's kind of adorable. Like, yes, this is very grimdark, but I think it's adorable that the rats have armor. They're ready for battle. So look at the level of detail on the armor. And then... ooh, look, there's even some rats down here. And then look at this one in particular. Like, that was only a couple of strokes, and yet it reads as like a little tiny rat. Here too. Oh my god, one of my Schnackery just like hopped onto the chair beside me. And it like scared me because it like shook the floor a little. Because he's a fat cat. I wonder if Schnackery hears me talking about rats and he's like, where? Still banger art. Yeah. Babinka, have you heard how the Skaven sound like? It's really good and funny. Is it? Schnackery sees rats and wants eat. He has a little rat toy, actually. Maybe he's looking for it. Ah, no, he's cuddling up. He likes Beans' chair. I think it's because of the warmth. Schnackery hunting sense is activated. It's true. He's on the hunt. So the thing with my cat Schnackery is that he's also hilariously bad at hunting. Like, I think he's a little too coddled by being a house cat. Because one time we had a big roach. We had a little mini Matarakan, and it was like scuttling about, and like everyone in the household was like, we're all cowards when it comes to roaches. Rightfully so. When they scuttle about, it's kind of creepy, right? And then we chased it out of a room into the hallway where Schnackery was just chilling. He was just chilling in the hallway. He was sitting down. He was loafing. The cockroach went straight into Schnackery and he did nothing. He did nothing. And then he like looked around, saw the roach, and jumped up and didn't make any attempt to catch the cockroach at all. It had to be our other cat Gino who was like chasing it and like actually getting the roach. And the thing is, when Gino when he hunts and when he gets the roach, he like tortures the poor thing. He like bites off a leg and then just like watches it as it like scuttles pathetically. Scared of the roach gang. Yeah, I'm talking all this shit while Well, me and Beans' brother, all of us are like, oh god, the cockroach. No, I actually have to give some credit to Beans. He's usually the one that like catches the cockroach somehow. You know, not proudly, not but because the rest of us are scared. And he's the one that courageously flushes it down the toilet or lets it outside. Whereas, okay, this is the last part of the story I'll tell before we go back to the art. My dad is kind of insane with catching bugs because he has no fear. He has no fear at all. Like, he will catch a cockroach with his bare hands if it like bothers us. Like, he isn't scared at all. And he said that when he was a kid, he used to, you know, like for fun, he would catch beetles and tie little like strings around their legs and then just keep them as pets. And he said like he likes to watch them fly on his like little leash. Which, I don't know. Catch things with his bare hands? Exactly. Exactly. You're reminding me I need to make art of my parents, my bear parents. I also need to reduce the gain because I'm looking at my levels and I'm realizing it's pretty loud. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. That's like your mom too? Man, what is it like the Southeast Asia debuff where it's like this is nothing. whereas like the Bear Americans are like bug gross. Art of your parents? Yeah. I was thinking about how I should show them. I don't know if I'll ever have them on stream because for sure they would dox me. Like almost for sure. They would like say my real ass name and everything. I mean, Babinka is my real name. Or they'd be like, why are they calling you Babinka? That's like... Don't flush it down the toilet or put it outside. Those hardy little things will immediately go back in your house. Ah, true. I did that with a spider. I let the spider out because I'm trying to be better to spiders. But yeah, I think we tend to kill the cockroaches. Honestly, I have to overcome the fear of roaches when I live alone back then. Oh man, that was me too. When I was a teacher for little kids, a cockroach got into our classroom one time because it was a summer program. It was hotter, so the bugs were all around us. And I remember my kiddos, my students, they're all kindergartners. They were screaming because there was a cockroach in the classroom. And you know, usually I'm like, go get an adult, and it's that moment where you realize I'm the adult. So I like took off my slipper and I squished the roach. I felt so proud because I was protecting my students, you know, I was protecting my little bear cubs. But I was also terrified, so... Skaven Speak putting content racks? I'll check that out in a bit. I grew up in a house infested with bugs, so I have no fear. That was me too. Like, well, we had like one of the houses we were in when I was growing up was like had so many cockroaches, but they were tiny. They were so small that like killing them was no problem. But like I don't know what it is. Now the cockroaches are big. I can't do it. Vinka's your real name. You just have an alias that you give to the taxman that you don't want people to know. Exactly. Being adult fighting with Morphle Roche is hard. It's true. Ooh, but yeah, okay, that aside, let us appreciate more of the kind of infestation that we're a little more okay with. The rats. We are the rats. This is what I mean though, like look, these are just kind of like simple paint strokes, right? But they still read as rats. And that's what I really like about this style. Roaches that are not more from Matara. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I do try to also think of like ways to also improve on your guys' art if you guys are budding artists or practicing artists. And that is, this guy seems really good at like, for one, varying his lines, but also this idea of like not every part of your piece has to be 100% detailed. You can kind of cheat it with like just really broad brushstrokes, as long as you kind of like put detail where detail matters, you know, like here on the armor of the rats. Here, this big guy here, this guy reminds me of what is it, Rufus from Kim Possible, the naked mole rat, right? But suddenly he's roided up and fierce, and he's got bandages. This is also telling a bit of a story. Like I don't know what that story is, but it's like, ooh, why is he all bound up like that, right? Oh my god, wait. Not only do the rats have swords, have armor, they have swords and shields. Isn't that cool? That's like the Spartan... These are Spartan rats. I would like to be more bold on color selection and blending. Yeah. That's another thing to really learn about these artists too, is like, this guy's choice in color is really cool because, well, on my screen, I said before that it's red and green, but now that I look at my OBS screen, overall, it's a bit more orange and yellow, right? Teenage Mutant Spartan Rats. Exactly. I'm bad at colors sometimes. Me too. Well, for me, I struggle with making, like you said, actually, bold colors, vibrant colors. My colors are always very muted. And where that runs into trouble is when I change from, like, monitors, like the colors are different depending on the monitor, right? Because for me, on my iPad, my model, the purple in my Babinka Bear model is very vibrant. But then when I change it over, it's actually very muted. Like, even now, I'm looking at, like, myself, and I'm like, yeah, actually, it's a very muted purple. It starts to go a little bit into blue and gray. So, the most vibrant part of me right now is my outfit. And even that, I thought was a lot more vibrant than it really is. So, we gotta practice that. You like my color choice? Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, so detail where detail counts. And you don't have to put 100% detail, like, into 100% of the canvas. You can kind of cheat it. Because, you know, like... I'm trying to think of... I think it was Milky, actually. Milky said something about how, like... if you just, like, want to post a sketch on Twitter, and you don't quite have the energy to, like, you know, render every single thing, as long as the face has, like, a lot of really great detail, it's really beautifully rendered, people aren't really gonna care about the rest of it. For the most part, at least. For the most part. If you're submitting it for, like, a portfolio, yeah, then, like, try your best, right? But if it's a sketch on Twitter, and you are really proud of the rendering you did on the face, and the rest is kind of just very sketchy, that's fine. That's fine. There was a tweet that I saw that was like, you know, just make bad art. Just do it. Just make art. Just make bad art. Like, just do it, because, like, chances are it's not as bad as you think. And also, let's say it is. If it is bad, then that's just a step into learning how to create art that you'll be proud of. I'm not gonna say that's a step into making good art, because in my opinion, it's already good art. But art that you're gonna be satisfied with, right? One of my favorite things with Warhammer art is the idea of Blanchitsu, using a Zorn palette for grimdark art inspired by the art of John Blanche. Oh! I think you recommended the art of John Blanche before, right? Cool. Zorn palette is sepia, red, black, and white. That's kind of what's going on here, except there's a bit more green, right? But cool. Let's, Milky's right, some artists do that too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make bad art. It's okay if you post art that you're not 100% happy with. And also, it's okay to post the sketches. Just put Rakugaki? That's like Japanese for sketch. Just put that and, like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I have a good example, but I don't want to overstep since we have other people who want to share art. Yeah, it's okay. It's a good step on posting whatever you draw, even if it's bad, not to make yourself be too perfectionist. Exactly. I struggle with that too. I'm finding out from my mom the last time I visited home that my sister is also an artist. She's still in high school, and she's a budding artist. Or I can't even say budding. She's already a really great artist. But she's a perfectionist. And I'm like, oh no, you have to get rid of that. You have to stop that. Stop it. You have to be okay with imperfections, because that's how you get good at art. Okay, we're not gonna spend too much time on this next piece of art. I do want to move on eventually, but right away you see that this guy's, like, composition work is really good. Is this a continuation? Is this more? Because look, more rats. We are the rats. Oh man, are these are these rat catapults? Are these ratapults? Zako, hello. Metal Gear boss fight the snow. Hello, and also thank you for following Big Boss Gaming. Hello, welcome. Nice, thank you for the raid. More concept art for Warhammer. Ah, very nice, very nice. Thanks for the raid. Let's go ahead and give you a shout out. Oh, wait, I did it wrong. Wait, Zacro BT. I know you got exploded. It's okay. You guys are fine. Yeah, thank you for the raid, and thank you again, what is it, Big Boss Gaming 876, thanks for the follow. We're doing a little bit of art appreciation today. We're already such a good friends that I have my own redeem. I'm touched. I know, it should, like, when I do that command, there should be like a random scope dog, right, that just pops up. But yeah, we're doing a little bit of art appreciation. We're looking at the art of Max Fitzgerald, who does Warhammer art. We looked at a really cool piece with rats, and now we have another piece with more rats. The catapults are shooting magical demon uranium called Warpstone. That's wild. Oh, hydrate, don't hydrate. I will do that, actually. Let me actually take a pause.
Yeah, I felt it, and I've been there through different faces. I've been feeling like I don't have the power in me. It took me a few dead ends to finally understand.
Oh, thank you for all the redeems, everyone. So yeah, Big Stretch, thank you for the pet. And then Big Boss Gaming, thanks for letting me know to stop shrimping. I will. Sent you what we worked on. Nice. I'll review it after. The Skaven or the Florida Men of Warhammer fantasy setting. Oh man. Did the Strike Dogs claw from scratch? Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll give it a look-see afterwards. So I do see some runes here. Okay, so there's some interesting, like I said, it's fun to kind of look at such a monumental like composition like this with no prior knowledge of what it's about. Because then you get to kind of build a story up. So, you know, if there's a continuation, we got like the rat army here. And then we got some, like, at first it looks like meteors, right? But upon closer inspection, these look like catapults. Ratapults, if you will. But there's some fixins. There's some stuff on the ratapult. So there's these gate-like structures with runes, or what looks like runes. It looks like writings that remind me of runes, right? And from my knowledge of runes, they're usually used in like magic fantasy settings to like power up stuff, right? It's like a, what's the opposite of a nerf again? A buff. It's like a buff. So are these just like normal catapults, but they're also magically enhanced? Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Warhammer my nemesis, oh no. You also got this guy here. I don't know if that's the same rat dude from the previous one that we looked at, but he has a very similar looking staff. So it just looks like the rat army is like moving forward. They're using their catapults, and it's like magically enhanced. That's what I'm getting from here. I really like the way that these back cannons or catapults are rendered. It's almost like it's carved out, like it's chiseled out. They're part catapult, part shrine to the Great Horned Rat and the Council of 13. Oh, so it doubles as a shrine. Does the shrine then give it like special magical religious effects too? That's awesome. And then there's like a pyramid structure here. It looks like it's getting damaged from the catapult. So is this what they're kind of like fighting against? Oh, you know what I like too is let's zoom out. Look at this red flag here. It's like, it's kind of anchoring everything because everything is very blue-gray, a little bit of green here, and then some smidges of red. You get the red runes here, you get the red like clothing and armor and shields, but this is the most vibrant red on here. So it's directing your eye right to the center, and then your eye can kind of like travel with like the lines made by the comets, the line made by the pyramid in the back, and then this like overarching like dark parts that lead our eye to. This is a really good study in value. If you guys don't know what I mean, when I say value, it's a little different from like I remember Randon made a joke. He was like, value, are we gonna learn how much our art costs? No. So when I say value in art, it basically means how dark or light something is. So like this is like one of the lightest parts of the piece. These are the darker parts. And a really good tip that I always credit to Milky, even though it's also kind of like a basic thing to know about art, is when you're working on something, especially if it has a lot of different colors, make it black and white. Make it black and white. So, and an easy way to do that, if you're doing digital art, make another layer, make it gray, and then set it to saturation. Then you can kind of toggle it on and off as you're working. Because what you want to do is, oh, you're looking value, it's dark because they're using allies as their cannon fodder. Oh, is it really? Is it the poor rats that, is it really a ratapult, as I said? Oh yeah, I changed the lurk command, by the way. You guys like that? You guys now get a hall pass to the rec room. Yeah, so thank you for lurking, Zako. Thank you. But yeah, so this is a really good study in value too, because the darkest parts are also the parts where you kind of want to focus on, and then the lights do a really good job of framing those dark parts. So yeah. Like I said, I won't spend too much time on this piece, but all around, this artist is really good with digital painterly style to the point where it looks kind of like it's being carved out. Really good value and really good use of color too to anchor the piece together. So yeah. Okay. Before we go on to the next one, I think I will start an ad, just so it doesn't interrupt us going forward. Oh no, I can't start an ad, or can I? Oh, I can. Okay, I'm gonna take a breaky by doing a 1-minute ad. If you're subscribed and you're not gonna get that ad, then go ahead and just let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pixel art we're gonna be looking at right now. And I'm also gonna be hydrating before I dehydrate. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, enjoy the ad and tell me what the ad's about. I'm always curious. Okay, we'll start it right now. Okay, see you guys in a minute.
Shine like the stars. Let's celebrate, 'cause it's a new day. Let the sunlight come shining into your life. We can make it if we give love.
Alright, Matthew, thank you for posting Kyle's link in the chat. Yeah, this is gonna be our next artist. So we're gonna look at Kyle. This was recommended by Hux, followed by Jaffers, followed by what is this, Muse Dash, then followed by beeplebees. So I do already feel my voice starting to. It's not bad right now, but it's starting to go. So I think I might end it after that. But I know that George left a animation in the channel. I might just have to review that on another stream if that's okay. But yeah, let's go ahead. We get to look at pixel artists now. This is Kyle. Freedom. I got a bank ad, an insta ad, and an ad that I can't share without doxing myself. No worries. Yeah, I know that sometimes the ads are like, they're like specific to your browser settings or something like that. So, but yeah, an insta ad. That's interesting. Well, thank you, beeplebees. Thank you. I'm always curious as to what kind of ads you guys get. Okay, so this is the art of Kyle. Happy 420. It's your little bud's first partner stream. Oh, they're also a fellow streamer. Oh, let's take a look-see. Well, oh, so they do some gaming as well. Okay. So they do art. They do art. I would love to catch one of their some of their art streams. So of course we won't watch it here because, you know, I will watch it on my own time. I will watch on my own time. But I think that, well, I don't know if that means we can give them a shout out. I feel like it's weird if I don't know them, right? If I don't know them personally. But let's look at their art. I know Hux said that this is a big influence to them, right? Let's look at their stuff. They seem to always feature this green-haired girl, the cute little leaf on top. I'm thinking that's probably their OC, right? I think, did Hux give like specific artworks that he wanted us to look at? Oh yeah, there's two here. There's two that he posted in the Discord. I follow them. Their streams are fun and their art is amazing. Ooh, okay. I will give them a follow as well. Yeah, let's take a look. Ooh, this is beautiful. So when it comes to pixel art, this isn't like a formal way to divide them, but this is just one way that you can think about it, is that some pixel artists, they work a little bit smaller, like really, really small, like 16 by 16. Actually, Whiteheight just made some really cool pixel art in the Creative Beeplebees channel. You guys should check it out. It's a Beeplebees style like Digimon. Oh, it's a variant. It's .Beeplebees. You guys should check that out. There's also artists that work a little bit bigger, but but you can still tell that it's pixel art. Let's take a look at this art over here. For one, what I'm noticing right away is the colors. They have a pretty, I think, what's it called? Like they use like colors in the color wheel that are next to each other. What is that called again? I forgot. I'm a fake art historian. And Google it. Oh, it's analogous. It's analogous. No, it's not complementary. Complementary is they're on opposite ends. Yeah, they're on opposite ends of the color wheel. Let's take a look at the color wheel. Since I feel like I do talk about it a lot. Here's a color wheel. Wait, I lost the images that Alex wanted us to review. Here we go. Here's a color wheel. So if they're on opposite ends, like this lime green and this pink, they're complementary. Art imposter. No. So they're complementary. They help each other to like enhance one another. But if they're next to each other, like this yellow, this green, this darker green, and this blue, that's called analogous. So that makes it a little bit more unified. So if we Google analogous colors, you get these examples, which I think I used when we were making the Randon art book. So these are all examples of analogous color schemes. So like this green, yellow, and an orange. Got like this one over here. I think this yellow-green one is kind of what this artist is going for. It goes for a little bit from yellow to green to blue. You gotta go due to work. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Mo. Thank you. And thank you for the lurk. I really like the new command. You guys get a hall pass to the rec room. Enjoy the rec room. Alright, I guess in this case, enjoy work. I hope it goes well for you. So yeah, overall, the color scheme is green. Like overall it's green, but they actually do something similar when it comes to green, is that a lot of people do. It's not just me, but what they do is they highlight in a green that is closer to yellow, and they shade in a green that's closer to blue. And then the darkest parts are just straight up blue. This is called hue shifting. But if you want like a visual example, it's right here. So if this is your main color, this green right here, this is gonna be your highlight color, and this is gonna be your shading color. And you could go even further by incorporating a bit more like blue. So it's called hue shifting because this is basically like as you go through the color wheel, that's the hue of the color. And it's hard to explain without just showing you like CSP, but basically you're just shifting it to another hue. So yeah, when you do that, it makes your colors really vibrant. It really makes them pop. Analogous color schemes are my fave to work with. They always look so nice and cohesive. Yeah, exactly, beeplebees, exactly. So they just make the whole work a little bit more grounded, basically. Yeah, take care, Mo. Take care. But another cool thing is when you do work with an analogous color scheme, it's also nice to just have another color for accent as well, or just to, like I said, to make it pop a little further. So here it's not just green, right? There's also the skin color, which is a little bit more purple tinted. There's also these colors on the headphones too. And what I like too is they don't just use the lime green as highlight. Look over here. There's also a little bit of teal. So there's kind of like two highlight colors going on, and a little bit of like this almost white color too. So really cool use of color to just make everything pop, right? They're also really good at something that I need more practice in, and that's not over highlighting. What I do a lot is like I tend to overshade, over highlight. Sometimes you just need a little bit of highlight here and on the eyes. Excuse me. And then on the hair. Here they definitely took a little bit more freedom with the highlights here in the hair and the hand. But that's fine. That's fine. Oh, look at the sweater too, because the sweater, you just read the sweater as black, right? Like if you zoom out, it's basically just black. But when you zoom in, they make it a little bit more dynamic by making the highlights a different color. And the colors match the hair too. So over here it's a little bit more green, over here it's a little bit more blue. So that's a really cool way to make something like a black sweater. Usually that's like, oh, what do I do with a black sweater? How do I make that very dynamic, right? And the answer is play around with the colors of the shading and the highlights. Very cool, very cool. Let's look at this one. Oh, cool. Let's zoom in a little more so you can see the pixels. Oh, I love this. Loading Android 333. Oh, is this their model? Is this their model? That's so cool. Or a model that they created? I like this 3D model is very Frutiger Arrow. You guys know that term? Did I talk about that term before? If you guys also follow Rhea Citrix, this is definitely her vibe. But it's basically this like this like early 2000s 3D aesthetic. It's called Frutiger Arrow. It's like the Windows XP, Windows Vista aesthetic. But you kind of get that same thing here with this style. Very refreshing. So let's see. Let's take a look. If this is a model that's meant to like move around. Oh yeah, it's even rigged too. Very cool. So with that, because I've seen VTubers who do pixel art models, and it's a bit hard because I don't know much about Live 2D. Like I did attempt to like learn it and just failed miserably. So that's why I'm commissioning. Like if it ever comes to that point. But it's kind of hard, right? Because for pixels, like I don't know, it's just the way that Live 2D like moves and is rigged that sometimes it can be difficult to do it with a pixel art style, but I have seen VTubers that do it and they do it well. It looks really good. This is a bit of a bigger scale though, but let's see some details. Oh, I love the little plants growing out of the hair. I was talking about this too on the Discord when Vitehide was posting their artwork, their pixel artwork, in that with pixel art, especially like if you are working on a very small scale, it kind of forces you to really decide what are the essentials to the design. And this is also like a really nice design because at first glance it's kind of simple, right? She's just wearing like this oversized shirt with like some black boots and like a black, what looks like a bathing suit type outfit. But it's like a little bit, they put a little bit of complexity into it as well, because like the green hair has little plants, they have earphones, the suit has like these green lights for highlights, I mean not highlights, accent. And I feel like the oversized sweater and shirt kind of help to ground it all together. So it's not too overcomplicated. I feel like with stuff like Genshin and like maybe some like I love corpo VTubers, but like with certain character designs, sometimes it gets a little too overcomplicated. Especially if you've ever had to draw fan art. I mean, not had to, but if you wanted to draw fan art of, say, the Hollow Tempest voice, you know the struggle of like, oh, there's so much detail. There's so much detail corpos. Oh my god, George, the emote just, there's just so much mileage with it. But yeah, like, this is relatively simple though, and I dig it. I dig it because of that. It makes the design very readable. Like, if you were to just make a chibi of her, which kind of like is what's going on over here, then she would still be recognizable, right? Gabus battle. Sometimes it seems like a challenge is being issued to cosplayers. Yeah, cosplayers and artists. I feel like more, well, not to compare the two, but I was gonna say like maybe more so cosplayers, because then they have to like recreate in the physical 3D world that. So yeah. Oh, look at I like these little things on the head. It kind of reminds me of Chobits. Even though I know a lot of other media uses that as well. Like, oh, Evangelion! Asuka, she uses like the little head clips, right? Let's make one more comment about the art and then we'll move on. Meat space. Okay, so wait, let me take a sippy. There's something I want to kind of observe with this. So there's one detail that I'm noticing that I've seen Hux try to imitate, and they do a really good job of it too. It's the lines. So for the most part, the outlines are all black, which in pixel art, it depends on what is your preference. There are some people who view like black outlines as a little bit too, how do I say this? Like, it's a little bit too bold, right? I think they're fine, like, because it definitely, like, especially at small scales, the black outlines help you, like, well, for lack of a better time, outline exactly, like, you know, certain parts of a figure, right? Like, here it's being used to show you where the head is, where the shoulders is, and how it separates from the shirt or the clothing. It's bold, but in a good way. But you'll notice that when you go inside, like, look at the outlines here, and the outlines in the hair. It's lighter and it's a color that matches the inside. So these lines are a little bit more like brown. These lines are a little bit more green. And even within those lines, they vary it. Because look at here, it's like a dark blue. Whereas the closer you get to the face, it's like a light green. So that's a really nice touch. It can be a little hard though, because if one thing that I remember chatting with Hux about is that if the color of the outline, like, if it mixes in a little too well with the inside color, it kind of loses its shape. But here, it's done really well. So if you were, like, aspiring to be a pixel artist, or if you're the kind of person that colors your outlines, just make sure that the outline is a little bit more distinct. There are times where you do want it to blend in a little bit more, like here where the highlights are. But otherwise, if it's not distinct enough, it could easily kind of, it will affect the shape of, let's say, the hair. The shape of the sweater. Or I think this is a shirt. But yeah. Sometimes I want to draw fan art, then I really look at the design and I'm like, I ain't doing all that. Yeah. I know we talked about it last time, but freaking Gavis Battle. Look at this. Look at all those design things. Okay, how about Polka? Polka Hololive. Like, come on. Like, come on. She's really cute, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, cosplayers and artists, I pray for you. But yeah, overall, like, lovely, lovely, lovely job. So yeah, like, they do the whole thing with the color outlines, but they make it work. It stands out enough that, like, it doesn't, like, mess with the shapes at all. Everything looks very well defined. The hair looks well defined, the clothing does. All really good. Don't pray for me. I'm already dead. I can't do a Barney voice as well. I know a Simpsons reference when I see it. Oh wait, one more thing. Look at the lines here. It's all 1 pixel, but look, they changed the colors here, so it's like a darker green to like the lighter green, almost to a yellow. They're really, really nice. And I will also drop a follow. I really want to see their stuff. And their process. I think it's going to be really cool to see their process. Okay, so that is the art of Kyle. I'm also going to follow them here too. Overall, really good pixel artwork. And Hux, again, was the one that recommended this artist. So good job. Good job. I'm going to submit man getting hit in the groin for the next art appreciation. There's just so much emotion to it. There's just so much subtext. It's like, why? Could the action of him getting hit in the groin be in fact indicative of the pain that we as Americans I just pulled that out of my butt like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's the art of Kyle. If you want to give them a follow as well, go ahead and give them a follow. You know what? I think I will give them a shout out, but I did already close the window here. Oh, they're just, I think their name is just Kyle, so let's shout them out. There you go. Ooh, the last thing they streamed was special events. Cool. Okay, so we have another artist, but I'm gonna go ahead and rest my voice again. I think Matthew gave me a really good idea in that every time I take a break, I'll also link the artist in the chat so that you guys can appreciate it while I take my break. So I think I can do another 1-minute ad. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna take a sippy while you guys appreciate that. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I'll be back in a jiffy. Okie doke. So our next artist is Jaffers, who, okay, I said this at the beginning, but their name sounds so familiar, but I don't know why. Like, I'm not following them on either account, either my Powpandan or this account. And I don't know if they've done any, like, Hollow Stars projects. Because I did a few, like last year and the year before. But I don't know why, like, they sound so familiar. I don't know why. But the art looks really beautiful. And look, we have Shinri from Hollow Stars. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's look at the Shinri art and then maybe just one other art. Oh, this looks cool. Koi Papa, yeah. Ooh, what's this? kind of like, well, it has like cards, right? Like, there's cards in the artwork, and then like this dapper figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at these artworks then. Okay, so this is the art of Jaffers. Right away, I'm always looking at the colors, right? I really like the colors. Because, you know, with, so for those who don't know, this is Shinri. He is a VTuber with Hollow Stars English. He's a very comfy streamer. He also has like a very, like, very low kind of rumbling, but very calming voice as well. And his, I think this is like a fan-made outfit. Paranormal Investor. Oh yeah, and he's a ghost hugger. He's a monster hugger. He's that kind of guy. But I watch his streams whenever I can. Very comfy. And this art is just fantastic. So this is a professional ghost. Yes, professional ghost hugger. He's a coward for filtering the Fujos on his first stream. Do you mean I don't know why when you say his first stream, I just think of the the Vesper comment that's like, I can't hear the story over all these pregnant people. Because when people first heard his voice on his debut stream, like everyone was just commenting the pregnant emoji, you know, as in like, oh my god, this is so good, I'm pregnant. Yeah, the empreg emoji. And Vesper, another streamer from Hollow Stars English, he was like, I can't hear the story because of all these pregnant people. But yeah, so I like his streams though. Very, very chill vibes. And then what's really interesting, so in his actual art, excuse me, give me a second. Sorry, I needed to burp. What's interesting is that Shinri's color scheme, actually if we look at Shinri, let's take a look at his actual design and then take a look at this costume because it looks really cool. And once again, I know that like a lot of us are Hollow Stars fan, but not everyone is. And I just want to be inclusive of everybody. Wait, not new window. What did I do then? Boobies out. So, his color scheme, his canon color scheme is orange and blue, which is and black. Booba man. Exactly, beeplebees. The preggers emoji. So, orange and blue, once again, these are complementary colors. So when you use them together like this, they kind of emphasize one another. And in the lore, he also has a blue arm, which, if we go back to Jaffer's art, they also use the whole black, orange, and blue color composition or color scheme, and it works out really well. Because what they did, which is kind of missing, is the transition. Because there's a little bit of transition from his normal arm to his blue arm. But in his clothing, it's pretty like, you know, it's orange, orange, blue. That actually does transition into white, but everything's pretty solid, right? Here, they take that same color scheme, but they introduce a bit of a transition, which makes sense for like a long robe, right? I miss his shirt. I miss his shirt. Oh yeah, he had an update to his outfit where now he has a shirt. I love the MPreg emoji because it's like, hey, trans rep. Exactly. It's true. It's true. So yeah, we have that color scheme here along with the black that kind of helps it. It's kind of like with the brown sweater in Kyle's work. It kind of helps to ground everything together, so it's not too vibrant. It's balanced. I also like this decision here with the shoes because the whole thing with Shinri's look is that it is very like East Asian, Japanese. But here they put a little bit more of a Western spin on it, where it's like Western looking shoes, but they still have the platforms that you see in what's called like geta shoes. It's like the clicky clacky shoes. Oh my god, when Beans and I were in Japan, we did see people who like, we were in like a pretty industrial like area where you would see more people in suits, but occasionally you would see someone in like a yukata, like the robe, but also the geta shoes, like with these platforms, and they would like click clack as they were walking down the street. It was pretty interesting. It was like 1 out of every 100 people, but like they were there. So yeah, you got that design. Let's take a look. I want a closer look at their technique, because everything here is very solid. You know, I was just talking about how much I like the painterly style. You do actually see it here, even though like in comparison to Max Fitzgerald's work, where it's a little how do I say this? It's scattered in an intentional way. This is all very solid in an intentional way. Like each of the shapes are very solid. I don't quite know how to articulate it, but like you don't see very many stray lines. The only time you kind of do is here when you look at the koi, but that doesn't ruin the piece at all. It's not super noticeable. But yeah, this is the only time that you see kind of like stray lines. Everything else is kind of like a very, very solid shape. So it seems like they take really good care in constructing those shapes. And then I also really like some of the smaller details. Like look at this earring that he's wearing. First of all, look how chunky that earring is. I love it. It probably is kind of heavy on his ears. He's gonna end up with Buddha ears eventually. But I like it though. I dig it. I also like the expression. It kind of embodies the kind of confidence that Shinri shows. Ooh, you know what I like? We're also gonna kind of go into this when we look into beeplebees work, but there's different ways to show gold, right? There's different ways to like color and render gold. And what I like here is that they kind of render gold how I render gold as well, in that it's this vibrant yellow color followed by a very dark but still kind of vibrant orange color. That makes it very, very vibrant. And then we're gonna see with beeplebees that there's also a different way to render gold that makes it a little bit more realistic, but with kind of like less vibrant but still more realistic colors. So it's a little preview for the end of the stream. This one though, super vibrant. I like that they have this like glowy effect. Hello, HDTQW5. Hello. Wait, I just realized it's the Josuiji Pog. I forgot that the Hollow Stars also have like Twitch accounts where you can use their emojis. But yeah, this one's really interesting too. Let's take a closer look. Oh, okay, you know how before I was saying like, oh, all these shapes are very solid, you don't see a lot of stray lines? Here you do. You do see a little bit more like sketchiness and stray lines, but what's cool is when you zoom out, it's not super noticeable. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with those sketchy lines. Like I said, I'm a big fan of them. Hey, Cameo, yeah. I'm trying to see how they do the glowy effect. Ooh, you know what? Look at the lips, the luscious lips. But look at how at the edge of the yellow highlight, there's a super vibrant orange like line to kind of border it. That kind of adds to that glowy effect. It's also very possible that they just used like a soft brush as well, but little things like this really add to like give it some ambiance. Actually, you see touches of it here too. What is the light source actually? Is it behind him? I think it's coming more from behind him. But you also see a little... I want to say that it's probably reflected off something, because then you get like the lights here. The highlights here. Oh, here again I got distracted by the luscious lips, right? I really like these, like, they're very subtle, but look at the highlights on the eye. It has like the eye shape really well, but it also adds to that glowy effect here too. I think it's reflecting off his gold, which is a really nice effect. But I like that both these pieces kind of demonstrate kind of their mastery. over their brush strokes, because here, like I said, it's very shaped. The shapes are very solid, and then you go here and there's a little bit more sketchiness in a good way. So you can tell that they're kind of like they're playing fast and loose with their brush strokes in a good way. Because I like, look at this detail in the glove. It looks like a leather glove. They did the shadows and highlights really well. Oh, and another thing, the eyes! Look at the vibrant eyes. I love it. So this takes a really good knowledge of shading and anatomy too. Because like even at that subtle touch over here with the eyes, I feel like you kind of have to know how the light hits your face in a certain way in order to make that effect. I also like the masks in the background. They add to that mysterious ambiance, right? And they're very detailed. Like look at those, like you can tell they kind of, how do I say this? Like you guys know that I like the painterly style, but this is almost like a sculpted painterly style. I like the fish effect too. Okay, let's look at one more of their works and then we'll move on. This work. So my ARPG creature has been approved on the site, so now I can post them here too. Chiton evening gown office culottes realness. I love how the whole piece is very warm, so bright that the blue eye really pops. Oh yeah, thanks. Good thing to notice. Let's bring back. Oh, what's the hotkey again? What's the? Why am I forgetting the hotkey? Okay, it's a history. This one? No. It is very warm. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but overall, this whole composition is orange. It's very orange, which is what makes the blue pop even more. But even within the blue, there's a little bit of orange highlight too, to kind of ground it all together. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at this work, because the rendering style also looks a little bit different. I don't know why it starts out like that, like very zoomed out. This is beautiful. Oh, you know what I said about like you have to have really good knowledge of anatomy? They're showing it off here. Look at how they're drawing the ribs, and then also like the musculature here. This is one of those artworks that makes me want to get better at anatomy. Because it's like there's some artists who like they practice, and they just get it really good, and they depict it so well that it's like, man, I want to get to that level. I'm really liking how they do the gold. Let's zoom in on the gold pieces here. Because the thing with metals, especially gold, is that you kind of have to make your shading very dark and your highlights very bright. It really depends on the material. I'm trying to find an example that isn't as like I guess the blue parts of the pants. It also has shadings and highlight, but they're not as extreme, because that's what makes sense for the material. But for something like metal, it needs to be very reflective, and therefore like it needs that that contrast. I like the gradients. Like you have like, look at the hair here. You have like this purple, but it kind of like slowly becomes like a blue. There's a bit more of a transition there, and I kind of like how you see it's like the smallest detail, but I love it. Look at the blue like eyeliner, or like kind of like the blue lines on the eyes. I just really like their use of gradients here. Like they have a really good color scheme going on where it's like mostly blue and purple, but it's also kind of balanced with like the flesh tones as well as the gold. I think that's what I'm noticing like is a trend in a lot of these art appreciations is like color, value, those are the two big things, but like having a pretty straightforward color scheme really helps to unify a work. Because the color scheme can be analogous or it could be complementary, but as long as you have like as long as it's not like 12 billion colors, you can end up with a really nice work. Oh, okay, last thing that I'm gonna mention too. The light source! Because I think you can tell, I'm starting to kind of run out of steam, so I think after this, I'm gonna take a bit of a longer break. Just to get some more water, maybe get some snackies. But I will come back. Yeah, super pretty, isn't it? Super pretty. So, the light source. Look at the orb! Once again, another orb spotted! And you can see how it's like, they really make it pop with their highlights. These highlights are almost white. And usually I say, you know, try to avoid like stark white or stark black. But if you want to really show the intensity of a light source, you use those colors as well as that glow effect that we saw in the Shinri work as well. Orb! The bouncy orb! I also like the celestial kind of theme that's going on with this. I like it. It reminds me of like Final Fantasy. I haven't gotten to the level where I can be an astrologian yet, but it reminds me of that. Okay, so I think that's all I'll say on Jaffrew's work. Go ahead and check them out. I'm gonna put the link again in the chat. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna take a little bit more of a break. In the meantime... Oh, I actually can't link to this next one because it's in the Discord. Unless... Wait, what happens if you look up Muse Dash? Muse Dash Art. Caro Games? You know, I realized that we're looking at the art from this game Muse Dash, but they don't actually say the artist, huh? Or do they? Oh no, I guess is it this person? Wait. I think it's this artist. I just saw it on Reddit. I could be wrong. But I'll show it here just in case. Roro? 2013, 10, 207? Because the style does look like it, it's just not as vibrant. I think it is. I think it is the artist. Really nice art though. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at the work of I'm assuming this artist, so I'm gonna put it in the chat. We're gonna be looking at two works, but that's gonna be after I take a little bit of an extended break. Maybe instead of 1 minute, we'll do like 3 minutes or so. But I will go on my BRB screen, just so that people know I'm on a little bit of a break. I'm gonna go do a bear meeting and stuff. But in the meantime, feel free to check out that artist that I linked in the chat, and we'll review it together. Alright. You guys also make sure you get hydrated, okay? Get hydrated. You do your beak stretch. And I'll be back in, let's see. It's 8:30 my time. I'll be back before 8:35. We'll put it that way. Actually, give me a couple more minutes. I'm trying to peel an orange. Trying to peel an orange, so give me a couple more minutes. Oh my god, I forgot that I did something new specifically for breaks. Oh my god. You guys want some points? You guys want some Babinka bucks? Alright, you gotta type join. You gotta type join. Wait, I didn't text this out actually. But oh no, wait, it's fighting with the Play with Viewers bot. No! I think it should still go through, right? This is my first time doing this. There we go, it works! Mayshark got 1,000 points. Let me know if it actually happens, like, if you actually get the 1,000 points. No, I'm sorry, it's over, it's over. It's like a 30-second thing. I'm sorry, beeplebees. I thought I said it too, so that, there's multiple winners. Okay, fine, since I'm still eating an orange, let's do another one. Okay, I'm gonna press the raffle button. I know there's a delay, but I'm gonna press it in 3, 2, 1. Ignore the Play with Viewers bot. I forgot to turn it off. Almost. Nice, Matthew got it. I'm sorry, everyone. I thought I said it, so yeah. You did. I thought I said it so that there would be multiple winners, but I guess there's just one. But it's okay. There'll be other chances. Every time I take a break, we'll do a raffle. How's that? You just have to remind me. Oh yeah, I know it's kind of confusing because I left the Play with Viewers bot open, but what it is when I type in raffle, it gives you 30 seconds. Whenever it says it again, that's not a different raffle, it's just counting down. And it's just reminding folks to join. That's why it says like, oh, 22 seconds, 15 seconds, 7 seconds. So there was only 2 raffles. I think the points translate into Babinka bucks, right? For the redeems? It should. For those who won, I think Mayshark and Matthew won. Let me know if it actually gave you, like, points. Or if it didn't. Because otherwise it's just kind of a fake challenge. Kind of like the stars in the stream avatars. Alright, now that I ate that orange, my fingies are messy. So I'm just gonna wash them and I'll be back. Wait, it didn't give you points? Then what's the point? Okay, I'm gonna try and figure that out after stream. Cause I got this idea from Tepanya. She's a variety streamer, but I usually follow her for her steady Pomodoro streams, and every time she takes a break, she does the raffle. And I think it gives me points whenever I get the raffle, so I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out, but it's okay. Okay, I refilled on my water. I ate an orange. Only 50k points. Well, yeah, you guys. I have been thinking of more redeems, by the way. One of them is me and Beans have an inside joke where we use the term bear splode, you know? Like I'll say like, oh, I'm so mad I could just bear splode, or like I love you so much that I could just bear splode. And my mental image is always like I explode, but like in the rubble is just tiny bears. So what if I had a bear explosion redeem where I just go like like I just explode, and it's just a whole bunch of the little like that one emote, the one where I'm schmoovin', like it's a whole bunch of these. The reaction completion from no, it's not unsay so. Like I'm literally exploding. It's not unsay so. Burp. Okay, let's get back into it, shall we? We got 2 more artists to look at. So we're looking at, this is recommended by Donchi. Right, I think, right? Do I got that right? Yeah, Donchi recommended the art of Muse Dash, which that's a rhythm game, right? Wait, I'm gonna do some research. I feel like I've seen people play it. Like I think I saw Sushi play it during one of the first streams that I ever caught for Sushi. But it seems like it's a rhythm game, right? Oh yeah, it did get buried. Wait, let me. I can scroll up too, unless you just rewrote it. But art is so pretty. I love how they can use many different colors and still have a very cohesive feel. I think that it has to do with focusing on the pinks and purples. Yeah, exactly. Brain power. Exploding in a shower of gore, and Vivinka's like the Olympians out of Coronas. Exactly. That's a redeem that might happen in the future. The bear explosion redeem. Finally, the Bibinkas are free. Oh my god, yeah, it really would be like the story of Cronus, where you guys explode out of my belly, just like bleh. Okay, so this is art from Muse Dash. I've never played it before, but I agree with everything that beeplebees said, that there's so many different colors. So early on, a couple of minutes ago, I was talking about how like you just need a simple color scheme. You don't need a billion colors, right? And now here I am. No, actually this one is a simple color scheme. But here I am looking at this artwork that has a billion different colors, and yet it still looks good. Well, how can that be, teacher? You may be asking. And it's because even though there is a lot of different colors, overall it does have a pretty pretty simple color scheme. Well, I don't want to say simple. Exactly. You're finally admitting to eating Bibinka? I didn't say that. Anyway, back to the art. An explosion of cups with pancakes expression. Oh my god, you're right. I forgot, was it 1,000 that was like, is Mr. Pancakes looking at me or you? Yes. The answer is yes. Anyway, yeah, if you look closely, look, there's different colors here. So we have the pink, we have a peach color, we have purple, we have yellow, we have light pink, we have a neon green, we have another pink, we have yellow and another purple. And then over here we have red and like a blue purple, like a green, yellow, so all these different colors. And then when you zoom in, you have these teal highlights, this big red ahoge with the yellow hair, but even the hair has like purple shade. And then we have like the skin tone, which also has the teal, and then we have the black, which has like red in it. So there's so many different colors, right? It's going exactly against what I said earlier, but it still works. And the reason why is because there's still somewhat of a consistent color scheme. Like if you zoom out all the way, overall it's very pink purple with some accents, and the accents itself are very consistent. It's teal. It's like these teal accents, little smidge of red, but you also get some smidges of red here, and I think here. And yes, there are some other kind of random colors, but they don't intrude too much. Like this lime green is a bit random. You don't really see that green anywhere else. Actually, I feel like these are kind of more indicative of the overall color scheme, like these colors right here. It's you know what? The color scheme is kind of like primary colors, but a little bit offset. So what's happening here is that there is like an overall color scheme. It's overall very pink, blue, purple, a little bit of teal. And then you do have the other random colors in, but they're more so there for accent, or they don't really intrude on the rest of the work. There's also some pattern work here. If you look really closely, like look over here on the bunny ear, and then here and here. It's like places that kind of fade away. You have that really cool pattern effect to kind of add some character, which I know is kind of like a coverall term for just like, I just like it. I just like this thing that has been added to it. But the cool thing too about adding patterns is that it also helps define shapes. If you notice that like there's patterns here and here, it's to kind of define the shape of the leg here. Because if you don't have that, it's not too much of a difference, but like then the leg does risk kind of getting lost in the overall shape here, especially because this is such a like dark color, right? So it does risk getting lost, but the pattern kind of helps to like define this a little more, if that makes sense. The look on Mr. Pancake's face, I can't decide if he's unknowing of the horror of bebinkas being eaten or directly involved in it. Yes. The answer is yes. Any questions you have about Mr. Pancakes, the answer is yes. Except, does he have a thought in his head? The answer to that is no. Actually, the polka dot effect, you see it like all over too. So you see it here in the background, you see it here, like in the star, like where the star shape is kind of fading out. That's where you see a little bit of the polka dots. That's actually a really clever way to do transitions in pixel art, by the way. Is to do polka dots, or what's called dithering. It's where you like, basically it's like every other pixel is filled in. It helps to kind of make a transition. And I learned that let me get this 1-bit pixel artwork. I think I've shown this before, but I'm gonna show it again.
Hello there.
No! I thought I was just gonna show the artwork. Okay. This is one of my favorite pixel artists, by the way. But he made a work that is all, what's called 1-bit, as in it's only black and white. Oh. It's all black and white. And yet they use texture to do things like transitions. I'm trying to find, actually, I feel like there's a better example. This is already good, but it's the dithering that really makes it look like it's like more than one color. Oh, here. He committed the bit. He committed to the bit. Yeah, it's 1-bit. But you see how like it's only black and white in these two, but here they use like I said, it's called dithering to make the sky, and it almost looks like a third color, but it's not. It's just black and white. So yeah, you kind of see the same thing here. That's how you see like kind of a transition. I also like the use of like the really vibrant highlights too. That and like the red outlines in certain spots, especially wherever there's black. The red and teal actually, are they complementary? You kind of see it in like old photographs where like the blacks aren't really black. It's more so like the darker colors are like they're kind of like a dark green, and then the highlights are more of a purple. But you see that sometimes with different colors. So you kind of see that here where it's like the blacks aren't black, they're red, and then the highlights are a teal. And it kind of helps to, I don't know, like it helps to unify the piece in a way. I know I use that phrase a lot, but but I don't know, it just gives it a cool characteristic. Okay, so here's another one. There's another one by the same artist. I want to say it's this guy, Roro. And this one definitely has more of a unified color scheme. This one is very purple and pink. But I kind of like all of the references to kind of like the nostalgia that we've been seeing in like the past couple of years, because In the 2010s, it was all about the 80s, 90s nostalgia. Now that we're getting into the 2020s, it's becoming like early 2000s. The early aughts, as people have been saying. It's getting into that nostalgia. So you're seeing a little bit of it here. You see what looks like the browsers over here? It's not Windows 98, it's Muse-98. Really cute. I think they also did art for, what's it called? Needy Streamer Overload? Hey! Why you throwing the stuff? What did I do now? Is it because it said early aughts? Hey, I heard people call it that. I think Cielo Slug just called it the early aughts, didn't they? But yeah. So you see a little bit of that nostalgia here. The overall purple and pink. Oh, and it's not a blue screen of death. It's a purple screen of death. Or I guess pink. Depends on your monitor settings. Because I'm seeing it as a pink, but as I look at my OBS, it looks more like a purple. One way they kind of achieve this is the lines. The lines aren't black at all. It's purple. Oh, you know what? It's different. Here it's blue. But here on the leg it's purple. But even without that, everything is also kind of very purple tinted. Like if you see the whites, like this is kind of reading as white, but if you were to color pick that, it would probably be, why are you attacking me? What did I do? If you color pick this would be closer to like, I want to say like a very light red. Maybe a light pink or purple. So all of it unifies it all. It unifies it all. Purple screen of Orple. It's Orple. So yeah, even if like the dark colors are actually a blue or a purple and the white colors are all like a light red to a light purple, you know, it makes everything in and of itself more purple. And even without that, you have the blues, the reds, so then you have that overarching color scheme, which is blue, red, and purple, which is in between the two. I just wanted to commit violence. Oh no! The Babinkubs! They crave violence. How could this be? So now that we got the color out of the way, let's take a look at the composition. This is very well balanced. That's something that you want in your artwork, especially these big compositions like this. What I mean by that is that it's hard to describe, but just something that you can kind of see in that. Oh, you know what? Let's go back to Max Fitzgerald, because they do like kind of different approaches to balance. Let me do a little bit of compare and contrast. Because they actually, these two, they might not look very similar at all, but trust me on something. So remember how early on, I was talking about the composition of this and how it's very like, it's triangular. It's made up of two triangles. One that's very stark white and one that is full of detail and is a little bit darker in value. Now look over here. It's also kind of triangular, but in kind of a different way. Like it's still kind of like cut diagonally here because of like the body. The body just takes up this much space of the entire composition. And then the Orple screen of death, it continues all the way down. So it's, compositionally speaking, it's very similar. Most of the action is in this part of the work. Same with this. Oh wait, same with this. So all of the action is here. And then this is more so like to balance it out. Here it's very dense with the dark colors. That's why you need kind of like this super stark white to balance it out. Here though, they chose to balance it with more things, with more windows. Because I want you to imagine, how do you think this would look if those windows weren't there? I think the artist probably would have found a way to make it work, but otherwise it might feel like something's missing. Because yeah, they would probably have like the star effect over here, but it might feel a little bit too blank. I think it's because here you get different values. You get like the bright whites here, you get the brightness of like the skin, but also some dark parts here, like the headphones and all of the parts that are blue. So it's a bit mixed when it comes to the light value and the things that I was talking about. So it kind of needs to be balanced with more stuff here. Whereas here, like I said, this is very dense. very dense in like the darker colors. That's why you need to balance it out with the white. So two very different approaches to balancing your composition. Let me know if that makes sense. Because I feel like I threw a lot of jargon. But let me know if it makes sense. And yeah, that is the art from the video game Muse Dash. Overall, very like poppy, very like super, like the colors all pop at you. And it looks really cool. Makes for a really cool effect. And despite all the pop art and despite all the different colors, it kind of comes together in a nice way. It's almost as if you have an artistry background. Nah, couldn't be. Okay guys, so we got one more work to look at and it is a super fabulous work, but I will take one more break. And I think for that I'm gonna go ahead and play an ad. I'm gonna I'm gonna take some sips and let's do another raffle. I want to get into the practice of doing that raffle. So if you guys are in the Discord and you want to take a closer look at this artwork for yourself, just go to the art appreciation channel. And it should be the latest post by beeplebees, who is in the chat right now. Alright, so let me go ahead and put an ad out. And chill, and we'll be back in a jiffy. Alright, we're back, and beeplebees even won some points. Though I don't know if it actually translates into into actual points. But I'll figure out a way to make it happen. But alright, so we are here with our last artwork for the day, which is an art piece by beeplebees. Let's zoom out first. Let's just observe. I know that also Danshi gave some input in the thread itself, right? Or I keep saying thread, but it's a channel. Let's see what Danshi had to say. So they said, man, I'm in love with the colors. The vibe just brings me back to, is it OTGW? Is that, wait, what does that mean? I'm gonna look it up. Over the garden wall. Ah, okay. Yeah, actually, yeah, Over the Garden Wall. So they said that it brings them back to the Over the Garden Wall soundtrack. The tenderness of the subject is palpable. Thank you for sharing. I love art like this. It makes me feel immeasurable love and hope for the concept of love. Like when I see art like this, I just want to cry because I love art so much, you know? So that's a really nice feedback from Danshi. And yeah, so they touched on a couple things like the tenderness of it all and the vibes that remind them of Over the Garden Wall. Yeah, you got it. For those unfamiliar, it's this show. I did watch it back when it first came out. It's a very, like, the vibes are really immaculate with that one. The vibes are really, like, cool with this one because it feels like something like there is kind of a big twist at the end, but like it feels like something that is like from a storybook, right? Like a Lost Grim Tales kind of storybook. But it's like a bit whimsical. There's a little smidge of horror in it, but it's also just, yeah, like very whimsical basically. So take that and then let's take a look at beeplebees artwork. I think one of the first things that I mentioned was I really like the way that you did the gold effect and everything. The whole piece has this really cool gold effect, so which reminds me of when people come out with like what are like the pins? I forget what are those pins called, but they're basically just like pins that you put on, and overall you have this very unified gold. It's almost like the whole thing is like gold leafed. In fact, I believe everything except for the central figure here has that gold lining, which is a really cool choice. You don't see a lot of artists do that. It is very reminiscent of like storybooks. Like this seems like something that you would see in like the intro to a storybook, where like you wonder what's happening with this character over here, which I also do want to go into. But let me look around a little bit. I think I mentioned before that I really love the nails. Like that's one of just my enamel pins. Yes, exactly, beeplebees. Exactly. Let's take a look at the central figure. Just this whole scene is very tranquil. It's very calming, right? Because you have this I'm trying to think about the reason why, and I think it's because like here you see like in the horizon you see a sun. You can't really tell if it's like sunrise or sunset, but either way it's the beginning or end. It's like the transition period. So that's what kind of makes it tranquil, because at sunrise usually things are quiet right before the birds start chirping, right? And like there's dew and there's fog. I'm really proud of that hand. Yeah, I love it! I love it, I love it. So it's really tranquil at sunrise. And then even at sunset, it's the end of the day. A lot of animals, including us human beings, are getting ready to kind of like settle in for the day, relax, right? So either way, that kind of adds to this little like feeling of tranquility. Plus the whole, like, we were talking a lot about color schemes today. This has a very solid color scheme of like the brown, green, and gold kind of intermingling, and then you have the red, which makes everything stand out. It's a really good accent. Over here we have our figure, which, by the way, amazing design. Let's zoom in a little bit more, because I like the reds plus the black and white. Is this the tail? This is the tail of this figure over here, plus with the big old ears. So we have a figure that's kind of dressed in fancy clothing because they have like a cravat here. I don't know if that's the right word, but kind of like fancy clothing here, right? This piece has a lot of lore symbolism. Oh yeah, feel free to put it in chat. I think that definitely helps to like it's fun to like see things, like go in blind and try to figure out what you can just from the imagery, but then knowing the lore and knowing some of the background too definitely helps. It helps like enrich our understanding a little bit more. So yeah, feel free. So yeah, this figure over here, it looks like they're sitting down and they're holding a little flower. You could tell because it matches like the colors here. And it seems like the next scene is basically that, but up close. And I very much agree with Donchi when I'm taking a look at this, because it has a feeling of tenderness to it. Like, it's this very tranquil moment, and then it goes a little bit more intimate into the scene. We're almost looking through the POV of this character as they're gazing at this flower. And they're not clutching the flower super forcefully, they're holding it very carefully. And that's despite the fact that like when you see claws, when you see like sharpness in a work, it sends a signal to our brain of like, oh, danger, right? But in this case, you can tell that the grip on the flower is very soft. So it's a bit of a mix of like, yeah, there are claws, there is that message of danger, but it looks like it's like a kitty cat. Like, yeah, cats have claws, but they're not in a attack form. They're in kind of a gentle, tranquil form. Not to mention that like the red just really makes the whole composition pop. It's really nice. It like draws your eye towards it, even more so than like this first scene, which is very cool, very tranquil. But this is kind of the centerpiece of it all, right? I also just like with the hand too, the fact it kind of reminds me of a panda in a way. Even though like it's definitely like a human hand, right? But or human-esque hand. But it's something, it's almost like these are the paws, right? The beans, if you will. I'm thinking, I'm just the reason why I'm quiet is I'm thinking a lot about the black and white here. Because, like, arguably, like, I don't know if this was the intention at all, but it could have that symbolism of, like, something that looks dark and menacing on the outside, especially because the claws are also black, but on the inside it's white, right? It's white, and also it highlights just how human the hand looks. So it's almost like that inner humanity, that inner light and purity, if you will. Well, not purity. Sometimes I feel weird about using that word, but just the inner softness, right? But on the exterior is still kind of like those darker colors with the claws. So it's almost like this tender moment is maybe not a moment that you see often with this character. It's very possible that this character, like, I don't know, their mood seems kind of like, it's tranquil, it's intimate, but there's a little bit of a frown. There's a little bit of a frown there. I wonder if they're, like, not in a great mood. The story that I'm kind of building up in my head, and you can feel free to tell me if I'm right or wrong, is that, like, this person, maybe they're misunderstood, maybe they're seen as like a mischievous or like evil, dare I say, person, but deep down inside they're just like you and me. They have the human hand, and they're holding this flower so gingerly, you know. Ooh, okay, let's go ahead and read beeplebees' lore for this. I'm gonna rest my voice, but I am reading it. Oh, interesting. So this character has grown up in a cult? Oh, so this isn't necessarily like a positive. They're extremely isolated and are. Oh wow! And George is taking notes. George is taking notes. You know what? I feel like, although it's not something that I personally kind of grew up with, it is very reminiscent, right? Of just like the role of like religion. Just religion in general in a lot of people's lives, of like, you grow up with a certain thing and you grow up with that as your worldview. But then the simplest things might make you suddenly question it, right? And you know, for different people, that religion is a positive influence in their life. For other people, it's a negative, right? Here you're using the word cult, and you even put deity in quotation marks, which makes me think that like, well, you also say that like it has yellowy greens and the forest around them is sickly. So this forest deity isn't necessarily a good influence on the environment. And it's even showing in these like dangerously red flowers, right? Because red has different definitions. Red can be passion, it can be life flow, it can be blood, but it can also be like, you know, fire that destroys things. It could also be like anything in nature that is vividly colored is usually like, that's usually a warning of like, don't eat me, I'm toxic. So this could be that case where it's like they're looking at this flower and they're like, what if it's not just the flower that's toxic? So that's an interesting story that's being told here. And I think the gold too, the gold kind of like goes into it, because it almost feels like Danchi said, it's like over the garden wall, where it's like, this looks like it wouldn't be out of place in that story. Because now the idea becomes like, well, what's beyond this forest then? What's over the garden wall, if you will? What's beyond this forest and this deity? Is there more like this color? I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Giver. I remember that was one of the books that I had to read when I was like in middle school. But I remember there's a section where the main character is describing color because they've never seen color before. I don't quite have enough energy to like go into why the whole plot of it. I think I am gonna call it after this this work, but it just kind of reminds me of that. The character is actually an aquatic species. Sea slugs! Oh, you should definitely check out Cielo Slug's debut because they're a sea slug VTuber, PNGTuber, VTuber. Which I did to make them feel a lot more out of place because they don't belong. Oh, I love that. Okay, I love that because now it's giving me kind of like Princess Mononoke vibes too. I like the idea of like in the design you can kind of tell that there's something slightly off, that they don't quite belong there. But then that isn't necessarily a slight on the character. That's more so like, well, where is the place they belong then? So I love that. Thank you for sharing your lore. Feel free if you want to keep on sharing some more in the chat, you can. But I am starting to feel my voice. So I'm gonna leave this artwork up for others to observe as they please. But overall, I love this. I love the vibes. Even though it is kind of this like tender moment. It's this moment of like this character questioning everything. Like Donchi said, it's very tender. It's very intimate. And the gold makes it feel like something straight out of a storybook. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, beeplebees. Let's go ahead and give beeplebees a shout out. Hehe. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to share, beeplebees, feel free. But I am gonna start closing raids, and I'm gonna look for our moshing music, and then we'll call it after that. Thank you so much for your insight. It's always great to hear other people's interpretations. Of course, of course. I love it. I love it. This is something that I could see kind of emblazoned on like a jewelry box. I love it. Okay, so I stopped raids. Let's go ahead and get into our moshing music. Thanks for the art appreciation. Thank you, George. And I will take a look at your animation either at the next stream, or we might even highlight it for one of our You Can Be an Art Historian streams. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Let's mosh. Let's mosh. YouTube. Oh, I know. You guys are getting it started already. How dare you? Where's my playlist? Trying to find a good song for us. What's a good? I am looking at my playlist. I think we might just default to another Banzuin Haka song. Since we did mention Hollow Stars quite a bit in today's stream, right? So let's just do that. Alright everyone, pick a emoji and start spamming it. We're about to start our mosh pit. Our end of class mosh pit. You guys ready? Ah! I guess that's the start of it. Let's go. Oh, it's so loud. I'm so sorry. Nice! I saw that I won the mosh pit. I didn't mean to! I didn't mean it. It's not rigged. It's not. Okay, guys. So, in terms of rating, there's Professor Lando, but there's also Rhea Citrix. She's celebrating 500 followers. So I feel like, even though I am going to play Final Fantasy after this, I feel like what we should do is raid into Rhea to celebrate her 500 followers. Maybe more. It's not rigged. No. No, I didn't mean it. I'm just a bear. Oh, my voice. Okay, I'm resting my voice. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for pixel art. We're gonna make some pixel art of the Oompies. So yeah. I'll see you guys then. Let's go ahead and start that raid into Rhea. Wait, outro screen. There we go. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for always tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys get something out of these art appreciation streams, because I certainly do. I certainly appreciate it. So, okay, let's go ahead, start the raid. Now, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, I'll see ya when I see ya. Bye-bye.